And in that assignment, with that assignment, there are people who are attached to us. So there are people who need me to do my part in God, what he's called me to do, so that they can go and do their part. Hey, my loves, it's Baina, and I bring faith-based inspiration, encouragement, and pep talks to your neck of the woods. Today, let's chat about doing it afraid. It's so funny, about a week or so ago, one of my clients, I was talking to her about meeting Tabitha Brown and all the steps that God took me through to get to the finish line with meeting Tabitha Brown and introducing her to my Soul Socks. You'll see another video linked somewhere, but there's a video that talks about all that God did to help me see Tabitha Brown, and then telling her the story. And I guess her realizing that I had to really be consistent and determined, and I guess it looked fearless to her. And she said to me, and she's not the first person to say it to me, not about this story, but just about other things. She said, see, you're not afraid. You're fearless. Me? I immediately said to her, you should talk to my husband, my Aunt Brenda, and my bestie. It's not that I'm not afraid. I just don't let it stop me. There hasn't been anything in my life that I have accomplished in terms of my adult life. Now, when I was younger, I was less afraid, I will say. I was less afraid. I think that sometimes fear tries to set in as you get a little older, and you've had an opportunity to have some run-ins with no's and rejection, and that kind of, helps to set you up for, being afraid to step out and do. But here's the thing. Here's what I've learned in my almost 52 years. There's an assignment on each and every one of our lives. And in that assignment, with that assignment, there are people who are attached to us. So there are people who need me to do my part in God, what he's called me to do, so that they can go and do their part. And then the next can do their part. It's like a domino effect. I have to do my part in order for those assigned to me to go out and do their part. Here's the other thing. God is so amazing that it doesn't mean me being afraid and not stepping out of my comfort zone and not doing what God has called me to do will stop the people assigned to me from getting what they need. It doesn't mean that. It just means God will choose someone else. I don't know about you, but I want what God has for me, regardless of what it is. It's got to be good. It's God. Right? Here's the other thing. Me telling God no is not an option. I'm going to do it afraid. If you saw the amount of tears that I have shed, being afraid to take a step, being afraid to step into the next, being afraid to give God my yes, I can't tell you. But I've got an army of support that God has allowed me to have and to create, that I can bounce things off of, I can cry to, and they don't judge me. And if you don't have that, I don't believe you won't ever have that. I think that you have to step out of your comfort zone to even allow those people to find their way to you. God is never going to just leave you out here lonely. He's not. There is somebody for everyone, even if it's just one person at work. He will put the right people in your path to help you get to where you need to go and to help you do it afraid. My being afraid has never caught God off by surprise. It hasn't. He knew I would be afraid. So he made sure that my husband was not afraid in certain areas. I think we all deal with some level of fear or apprehension. I don't know, but it can't stop you from living the life that God has called you to live. And it can't stop you from fulfilling your dreams, because the more you allow fear to stop you, you start to lose confidence in yourself. Oh gosh, I know I was supposed to do that and I didn't do it. And then you beat yourself up. It's all a trick of the enemy. You have to do it afraid. You have to. You don't have to do it with confidence. You just got to do it. And where you are not necessarily strong, and where you feel weak, and where you feel like you fall short, that's your opportunity to allow the Holy Spirit in to fill in the blanks. We don't have to have it all. I don't have to have it all together. I don't have to have it all together, but I have to do what I'm called to do. I just won't sit in a miserable feeling life, knowing that there's more and settling for mediocre. I don't want to do it. It doesn't feel good, and I know you know that. I know you know that. So, get up and do it. Trust God for support. Know that He's got your back. Know that when you do it afraid the first time, it won't be as hard the second time. Or maybe it's hard the first 5 times, if I'm being honest. It does get easier. It does get easier because you start to realize that God gave you grace to get it done, to do it afraid. And so you know if He gave you grace the first time, the 3rd time, and the 7th time, He's going to give you grace the 12th and the 13th time too. So, do it afraid. As my Aunt Brenda says, do it trembling and afraid, but do it. Do it. You'll be so proud of yourself. You'll be so proud of yourself. And on the other side of the fear that you feel, there's so many blessings. So many blessings on the side of that fear, which is another trick of the enemy who wants to just keep you from accomplishing those goals because he knows what's on the other side of it too. So that's why he tries to intimidate you. Don't fall for the okie doke. Don't do it. Do it afraid, my girl. My guy. Do it. Do it afraid. He's got you.